Welcome back to Game of Fangs and Thrones. My name's Hannah, and this is a slightly different video. Back, as you can see from the screen, in the back of April, beginning of the year, I did a video called the 2021 Priority Series to start finish, and today we are just going to see how well I did with that. Hi guys, it's Hannah and welcome back to a Game of Fangs and Thrones. Now today's video, you can't see it but I have a pile of books here, and this is my book series to finish/start in 2021. So these are my priority books. I do have other series and whatnot that I want to start, but these ones have been on my shelves for a while, either half finished or not started. So I thought I'd better pop on here, make this video just to hold myself accountable and hopefully get to move on with these books. And I think without watching this is the second time I filmed this video, by the way, so I think I did okay, but you can be the judge of that, so we'll dive right in. There's no particular order to them, just how I've popped them on my shelves. Have my Now this we're just going to skip to the first book because I ramble and waffle a lot. Right in. So first off, we have Nevernight. Now this is I'm not going to talk too much about all of them because I haven't read Nevernight yet. I haven't even started the series, and I have all three of them to go. And I think the camera dies, so you get a very close-up shot of me moving it. And the mess. Just skip to me talking about the books again. Is that Nevernight? So we have... That's still Nevernight. Why do I talk so much about 3 books? And don't think that ever changed. Right, so next one are out. I'm waiting for book 3 to be released in paperback because I have book 1 and 2 in paperback. But this follows Mary, who is a con woman in Cairo, who has a... Right, so I completely missed stopping there to tell you the series name, but it is the Diva trilogy, starting with the City of Brass, and I have since read all 3. They all got 5 stars. I really do like that top I'm wearing in that video. I think I've still got it. So the next one, and is transported to Daverbad, I think. We have a series I have actually started, and this is the Mirror Visitor, book 1, which is A Windless Promise by Christelle Debo. I'm not going to talk too much about this. Right, so bit of an update with this series. I own the first 3 in paperback, and I have read all 3 in paperback, as they are A Winter's Promise, The Missing of Claire de Lune, and The Memory of Babel. The last book in the series, The Storm of Echoes, has only just been released, so it is currently only available in hardback, and since I am running out of space on these shelves, as you will be able to see, I'm going to wait until it comes out in paperback, just so that it matches the series, which I don't know if you can see it, but they're just there. So I have read all 3 of those. This one because I did read it in April. I read the first book and I've only seen 3 in translation. Yes, and I forgot to mention these are translated from the French. And then we have The Fellowship of the Ring. Well, The Lord of the Rings is... I read the first book and I've only seen 3 in translation. There's a trilogy. I have read the first 2. I have since read The Return of the King. I think I gave it 4 stars. I am glad I've read it because it is a quintessential fantasy, one of the traditional ones from a long time ago. Well, I say a long time ago, I think it was like the 60s. But it has inspired a lot of what we see today in terms of the hero's journey. So I am glad I read that one. And of course Aragon. So we have a collection of Stephen Fry's books. Now I am counting these as a series because they do follow the same sort of idea, and that is his Greek myths books. We have Mythos, Heroes, and the new one Troy. I have read Mythos and Heroes, and I have since read Troy. I gave Troy 5 stars. They are just Stephen Fry's take on the Greek myths, heroes, and the story of Troy, which was more expansive than I thought. And like I say, I've read Heroes and Mythos, so just one more to go. And I don't know when I'm going to pick up with that one because I have to be in the right mood to read non-fiction Greek retelling. Still true. I still struggle with non-fiction. I read non-fiction Greek retelling sort of thing. But yeah. Then we have his Dark Materials. Well, in fairness, I have read the original trilogy, which was The Northern Lights / Golden Compass, The Amber Spyglass, and The Subtle Knife. And I think I just said them in the wrong order. I think it is actually The Golden Compass, The Subtle Knife, then The Amber Spyglass. I think I butchered that order. But I've read those 3, and I've read the first one of his new series, The Book of Dust, which was the Belle Sauvage. The next one is The Secret Commonwealth, and that's the one I haven't read, so I'm just counting them as I have since read that, and I really enjoyed it. It is a lot more grown up than the previous trilogy, and while it is part of the Book of Dust series, it almost feels like it's its own thing. The Belle Sauvage was set before the main trilogy, and the Secret Commonwealth is set after the main trilogy, so there is a bit of an age difference in Lyra and Pan in each iteration of the series of the world. It's all one interlinking world, because obviously it is. In the Golden Compass, which is where I would recommend you start, we follow Lyra, who is an orphan in the streets of. Major difference is there is magic. People want to know what's the BBC One adaptation of Red Rising, now another booktube favourite of everybody that is well beloved. With this one I have read the first 3, and I still haven't continued on with the series. I do want to, but the last 2 books I have to read are massive. I think it's Iron Gold and Dark Age, so I do still want to read them. I still want to know what happens, and that's why they are on the priority, because I have had them for a while, but I just haven't got around to it yet because they are big books. How long do I take talking about books? Then we have Wicked by Gregory Maguire. This is the book that the Broadway play was based on, and it is a prequel story for The Wicked Witch of the West. I've read this a couple of times, but still have the rest of the series to go. So it's like Son of a Witch, which is a brilliant title, Out of Oz, and A Lion Amongst Men, and again I think I butchered that order. Okay, so it is the Wicked, which still I have read all 4 now, but Wicked is still my favourite. We have Wicked, Son of a Witch, A Lion Amongst Men, and then Out of Oz. And I believe that Gregory Maguire has wrote a new series following one of my favourite characters in Out of Oz. I believe, and I think it is following Rain, but I can't remember the title. Somebody please let me know. But I have the last 3. Yeah, so I'm still talking about that one, so I'll just quickly skip ahead because I like to ramble as we are finding out. These are paranormal adult romances. Very, I'd say, new adult rather than YA or even adult. But yeah, we have those. Like I say, I've read 2. Right, so I must have skipped the introduction to that series, but it is the Goddess Summoning books by PC and PC Cast. They are retellings of famous or mythological female love stories, where the original character is interspaced with a modern female from our era and our world. And I think there is 5 that I own. I don't know if there's, I think there might be 7 altogether, so I need to double check that one before I mark that as completed. But I have, yeah, I have 5, read 2, 3 to go, and I think there are 7. Okay, so I have read the all 5 that I own. There's Goddess of Spring, which is still my favourite, which I think is a Persephone and Hades retelling. There's Goddess of the Rose, which is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. Goddess of Light, which involves Artemis and Apollo. There's also Goddess of the Sea, which is a Little Mermaid / Undine retelling. I have them just there. Then we have Goddess of Legend, which is a take on the Arthurian legend with Gwen and Lancelot. Goddess of Legend wasn't my favourite, but I think there are still 2 left that I don't own yet. Altogether, yep, I do like PC Cast. Like I bet everyone she's writing on her own. So true. I am so jaded about the House of Night series. It went on for so long. House of Night books, maybe an unpopular opinion, but there we go. Then we have Bridget Camera's book, A Curse So Dark and Lonely, or the Cursebreaker series. I have the first 2 in the gorgeous, shiny, holographic. That book is just glowing on its own, isn't it? So we'll just pause it there and talk about this one. I have since read all 3: A Vow So Curse So Dark and Lonely, A Heart So Fierce and Broken, and A Vow So Bold and Deadly. I loved the first 2, gave them both 5 stars, but unfortunately the last book, of Vow So Bold and Deadly, was a DNF for me. So they still count, right? Paperback, I'm just waiting. Yeah, I'm just going to skip because I ramble on a lot about these books. Can't you tell? What's the next book? What's the next book? Leave this one and another one till the end, so you can shout at me later. But we have, they must be interesting ones, and possibly that one. And we have A Wicked Fox by Kat Cho. Now this is a duology companion series. I have read both. I thought Wicked Fox and Dockerby, Vicious Spirits were okay. I enjoyed them at the time, but I have unhauled them since, because I don't think I'll reread them. What am I talking about now? Associating books with authors. So, should I give this one a try or not? So this is Dreadnation. I still haven't read that, but I am hoping to get to it soon because it is a zombie book. And I think what I was talking about that's a brilliant pose. But I think what I was talking about in that is how Justina Ireland did some questionable things on Twitter, but I don't have Twitter, so I don't know these things, but I am still interested in reading those. Not because I do have the both of them, and I am really interested in it, because even though it's not my normal cup of tea, I am trying to branch out. Still true. And Sean will be happy about that one, because he's been trying to get me to watch The Walking Dead for a while. I have started The Walking Dead, so we will mention that too. Interested in it, because even though it's Game of Thrones. Now with this one, I am aware that we are still waiting on Winds of Winter, and I do just want to be caught up. I have read the main core books. Yep, so again, still waiting on Winds of Winter, but I have 3 tie-in books that I wanted to read that was the reason why Game of Thrones was on the list. I have read The Ice Dragon, which was a little fairy story set in that world, which was so cute. And then I still have Fire and Flood and The Night of the Seven Kingdoms to read. But Night of the Seven Kingdoms isn't massive, so I should be able to do that one fairly soon. But the sequel is The Faithless Hawk. Right, so the book I'm talking about there is The Merciless Crow and the Faithless Hawk by Margaret Owens, and I have read both and thoroughly enjoyed them. I still have them on my shelves because I did enjoy them that much. I ramble so much. Read the first 6, I just have the last. Right, the book I'm talking about there is The Poison Studies or the Chronicles of Ixia by Maria V. Schneider. Still haven't read the last 3 books. And I'm rushing through these now, can you tell? Book 5 or something first. So that is Rivers of London. I have read the first 3, and I'm slowly working my way through the rest of them. A bit of a story with this one. The reason why I'm reading these ones so slowly is I am missing a book in the series, but I can't remember which one is missing, so hopefully I can just get it when it's time for me to read that one. It's a Holy Grail story. So that is Labyrinth by Kate Moss. Sequels are Sepulchre and Citadel. I have read all 3 and thoroughly loved them. I think Kate Moss is becoming a bit of an auto-buy author for myself. Should I put her new series? No, because that book has only just came out. Right, the one I'm talking about there is The City of Tears, which I still haven't read, but you know, it wasn't on the priority list. So yeah, we have this. I'm getting pins and needles in my foot, so we will have to make this quick. You get it back, and obviously in the sequel, Children of Virtue and Vengeance. I haven't read either of those books, and they are Children of Blood and Bone and Children of Virtue and Vengeance by Tomi Adeyemi. Still haven't read them. Yes, you may shout at me in the comments. This is the Fairy Loot edition, which is why it has the... And that is Serpent and Dove. So at the time of filming this one, I only had Serpent and Dove and Blood and Honey. I've read both of those now, and I own Gods and Monsters. And I'm hoping to read that fairly soon too, because I really need to know what happens. It's a bit of a chunker, but that was Throne of Glass, and I have finally finished that series. I only had, at the time of filming, I only had Kingdom of Ash left to read, and it broke me. It put me in a book hangover. Next one, either Fairy Loot or Illuma Crate, is the Cruel Prince trilogy by Holly Black. I read them, I thought they were okay. I just haven't kept them because I'm not going to reread them. And I think there's one series left. The last book in the video and the last book on the official list, but that's not to say that this list won't grow in it. That list is growing, I think, but we'll just talk about the ones that are on this part of it first. The next list, the growing list, is going to be a video for another time. Another couple of months I'll be doing an updated video. I am actually following through with what I've said. These Shadowhunters books. I'm just holding this one because it's the newest and it's the prettiest. Well, not the newest, but it's the start of the newest series, and it's really quite stunning. I love the... now that I've said that, I actually kind of prefer my edition of Chain of Iron, is it? Because Chain of Iron, because I have a special edition of that one now, and it is black, and it is just simple, and it's beautiful because it's simple. I love the way Cordelia's hair is done here. But I've read this one. I've read most of the books. I just have the Magnus and Alec spin-off books to read, which are right here, and the new Last Hours book, which is Chain of Iron. And I still can't remember the name of I can never remember the name of that title, but I have read Chain of Iron. I gave that 5 stars, just beautifully written, full of some teenage angst as usual. I have read the Lost Scrolls of Magic. Is that the Lost Scrolls of Magic or the Red Scrolls of Magic? Red Scrolls of Magic, which is the first in the Eldest Scrolls, Elder Chronicles, Eldest Curses. Here we go. I have the second book just here. So I have read that one, and I still have Ghosts of the Shadow Market to read. So I'm doing well. I have that in a special edition as well. So I just have those to read. So that's the end of it. So that's. I'm just going to skip the outro because you know what mine sounds like by now, if you've been here a while. So I think I did really well on my list. I've ticked most of them off, I think. There's only a few left on there, and if they get read by the end of 2021, they get read. If not, it's no biggie. I'll just make them a priority for 2022 when I do my next list. So that's it for this video. Let me know if there's anything on my list that you're in that you think I should bump up and try to get to by the end of the year. Or if you have a list, how is your 2021 priority list going? So if you like this video, give it a like and hit that subscribe button if you want to see this and talk about these. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.